Let's draw dinosaurs with Ms. Boley.
Hi students, it's Ms. Boley here. Today we're gonna learn how to draw basically any dinosaur that we want to draw by breaking down into more simple geometric shapes. So let's have a look and see what I mean by that.
One of the things that we're trying to learn in art is to be able to draw things realistically and expand our toolbox of different ways that we can do that. And one thing that we can do is break down complex things into basic shapes. And we're also going to color one of the dinosaurs that we're going to draw, and that will help us to expand the ways that we use pencil crayons. So when I was younger, I used to love how to draw dinosaurs books, and I had a lot of them. And a lot of times they would have a step-by-step sort of tutorial. So first draw this, and then draw this, and then draw this. And by the end, you'll have a finished dinosaur. And those are awesome. But if we learn how to break things down into basic shapes first, then we'll be able to make our own tutorials. We'll be able to really draw whatever we want. So kind of like how these are showing us how to break down into basic shapes, but then we figure this part out on our own. So what are basic shapes, or what are geometric shapes? So here are some examples. We've got triangles, squares, ovals, rectangles, circles, diamonds, rhombus. So geometric shapes are shapes that we can describe using math. And we can combine and slightly modify these shapes as well to help us to help us as a guide when we are drawing. So for our activity, you're going to need visual journal and paper. You'll need a pencil and possibly an eraser, and a Sharpie marker if you would like to outline your drawing, and colors. Dinosaurs are complicated forms, but they could be broken down into simple geometric shapes. So for example, on this dinosaur, we could draw the tail as a triangle, the body as an oval, the neck as a rectangle, and the head as a diamond. And for the legs, we can just use various different sizes and shapes of rectangles.
So let's see how we would do that when we're actually doing a drawing. So I'll have my dinosaur reference image up on the screen. I'm going to start by drawing a horizontal line so the dinosaur has something to stand on. And then I'm going to draw a smushed oval shape for the body. And then I'm going to start drawing the legs by sort of sketching out a rectangle shape. And I'm going to use two rectangles for the legs. So one rectangle is going to be representing the upper part of the leg, and one rectangle is going to represent the lower part of the leg, so below the knee. And then I'm also using sort of a triangular shape for the foot. And I'll just do a simple rectangle for the back leg there with just a little triangular foot on there. And same thing for the upper leg. So I will do two rectangles. Again, just to show that it has a knee that can bend, right? And then a little small rectangle to be the leg in the back. I'll use a tall skinny rectangle to represent the neck, and just a little triangle with a rectangle added on. So I'm not quite doing it as simply as I showed in earlier in the video, because I'm using my reference image to help me out. Once I have that, the form kind of mapped out using those shapes, now I'm going to look really carefully at the reference photo, and I'm going to kind of go over the contour, the outline, and I'm going to adjust it because it isn't a geometric shape, right? It's an alive thing that has a lot of curves and organic shapes in it. So I'm going to go and I'm using heavier pressure, and I'm just kind of changing my outline slightly where it's a little bit too boxy and rectangular. Okay, so this is where I do use my reference image quite a bit, just to double check sort of what I'm seeing in nature, trying to represent that. So if I see a bump or a curve, I draw a bump or a curve as best as I can. So then now that I have that contour outline kind of all done, and I think that it's kind of accurate, it looks like a dinosaur, then I'm going to erase those light shapes that I drew because it makes it easier for my eyes to see what needs to be still drawn, or if there's anything that I need to change. Okay, and now again, I'm just looking at the reference image and I'm trying to draw the different spots where the dinosaur changes colors, or if there's any texture that I'm trying to draw that in, and just adding some of those little details like the feet, what they look like. Maybe I'll add the eyes or the teeth and that kind of thing.
Here's another dinosaur. And for this dinosaur, we could use a triangle for the tail, a diamond shape for the top of the head, and a triangle for the bottom jaw, a rectangle for the neck, an oval for the body, triangles for those upper parts of the legs, and then various rectangles for the bottom parts of the legs. So sometimes the geometric shapes don't fit exactly in what we're trying to draw, but they can act as a guideline for us, and they're simpler to draw than the actual shapes that are in the natural form that we're looking.
So I'll start off by drawing a horizontal line again, so that my dinosaur has somewhere to stand. So this time I'll go a bit quicker with, oops, wrong spot. I'll go a bit quicker with going through the blocking in phase. So I'm doing an oval for the body, and I did a rectangle for the neck as well. And I'm just gonna draw sort of like this general, it's sort of like a Pac-Man mouth is what I'm going to draw for the head, and then I draw a long triangle for the tail, and then just as we had shown earlier how to draw those legs, but I might do the claws a little bit more detailed. And I can always go and adjust if I realized, oh, well, I don't think the body is wide enough, or oh, I think that the head needs to be bigger or something. You can always make those changes at this stage. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm ready to go with darker pressure and look very carefully at my reference image and draw in those contour lines. I'm able to make any changes I need to. Remember, I mentioned the body wasn't wide enough, so I erased it and I changed it up. And now I'm ready to add any of those details I'm seeing. So I can see that it has some spines on its back, and it also has some stripes, so I can draw those all in. I can draw in the eyes, the teeth, all of those types of fine details. Let's add some color.
You can color your dinosaur. You can also add a background to make it look like it is in the Badlands of Alberta. It is up to you. So some different techniques that we can use when we're coloring are layering and blending, hatching, and cross hatching. So let's have a look and see how those are done.
So when we're using pencil crayons, normally we just do this, right? We can also layer colors and create new colors if we do this. Oops, my pencil crayon broke. We can create texture by doing something that is called hatching and cross-hatch. Cross-hatching is what I'm doing here, where I'm doing lines in opposite directions. And hatching is where I just do lines in one direction, and I leave them so that you can see the texture. And then another thing I can do with pencil crayons is I can blend them. So I can start out with one color as a base, and I can kind of make like an ombre effect where I color with a darker color and I make the two of them blend together. So I'm gonna color one of my dinosaurs, and yeah, that is it. I cannot wait to see your dinosaurs, and thank you so much for watching.